What's going on, people? It's Grime History Lesson, another episode. Today, got a very special guest here, my boy, Dexplicit.
Yes, what's good?
What's going on?
Yeah, all good, you know.
Thanks for coming.
No, thanks for having me down, man.
So what's been going on then for you recently?
Well, just been keeping busy, man. I got a project with Big Nasty coming.
Yeah.
I've got another project where I really shouldn't talk about it too much, but what I'll say, it's a grime project and there's no MCs, it's just singers.
You spoke about this the other day.
Yeah, that's all I'll say on that.
Yeah.
We're at the end of it now. So, I'm looking forward to that one.
So what does grime mean to you?
What does grime mean to me? So grime to me is, in essence, that's a good question, you know.
What does it mean to you?
That's a great question. I think grime to me, because the first thing that came to my head is kind of minimalistic dance music, but it's evolved way past that now. So it's not even minimalistic all the time anymore. I don't know, I think there's a few aspects of it. There's the whole MCs in a room toasting around on a dub. That's grime to me. But there's a lot of other things. It's like an amalgamation of a few even genres for me. So I'd have to think about that one.
Okay, what has grime done for your life?
What has grime done for my life?
Yeah, that's a good question as well,
That
isn't
is
it?
a great question. Grime allowed me to be free for a lot of my adult life. It gave me a release. It allowed me to, gave me a means of expression that was able to be appreciated by many people. It gave me something to be passionate about, as well as music in general. But I spent most of my time doing grime, and I love grime. So, yeah, grime is a few things to me. It's a few things. Grime is art, as in, one of the things I love most about it is that there's no rules. People make rules and say, this ain't grime or this, that. But if you listen to everyone, you listen to everyone. If you're a true artist, you listen to what's in here, and that's what I do. And I make my art with no rules, and it's worked. It's worked. I've enjoyed it.
Still got a lot left in the tank now, yeah? You're not stopping anytime soon?
There's still a lot of artistic ideas that I've got that I've never done yet, and I still want to explore. So there's a long way to progress the art, if you like.
So talking about music in general, where did your influences start? Was it like family members?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of uncles, and pretty much all of them in some capacity was involved in music. From the uncles that were in bands, reggae bands, my dad was in a reggae band as well, to my family had, since I was 4, I've been going carnival and working on the store that we had, which also had a sound system connected to it.
Right.
I had an uncle selling pirate CDs. I've had the uncle that was a DJ, jungle, doing his thing. It's like, that's the uncle that would come by with the car rattling, yeah. Rest in peace, Uncle Patrick.
Rest in peace. So you was basically born into music?
Very much. Even my mom, where she's listening to the reggae and stuff growing up, the reggae she used to like was the bassy stuff, not necessarily the fluffier kind of stuff.
So that's kind of relating into what you make today.
That's what I used to listen in the car when I was in nursery and primary school. There's a bit of heavy bass music going on in the car.
So that's why your tunes are like that?
Definitely.
Really bass, sub-heavy.
Yeah. Being a kid at carnival and being next to the speakers, chest vibrating from bass, and I've been around bass my whole life, pretty much. Yeah.
So if you hadn't been around that, don't you think your tunes would have been as punchy and, you know?
No, I think being exposed to sound system culture, if you like, for a major part, a majority of my childhood, has kind of predisposed me to loving bass music. And even if I went to other genres and it was, say grime never existed, and I ended up doing other genres, I would have still had bottom end pushing in that as well.
So in terms of producing, how did that start? Was you a DJ first? How?
Yeah, so I was a DJ when I was in school, and that was fun. I enjoyed it. My first records were drum and bass tunes, jungle tunes. Then garage came out pretty quickly after I think I only bought maybe 6 records of drum and bass. So I wasn't a drum and bass DJ. Garage came out, and that's when I started filling up my record box. And after a while, I sold my decks. I'm sure I sold them to a DJ called Weighty J. He does house music nowadays. But after that, I sold my decks. And then my dad had a setup in the garage, just a little basic setup. And I just started messing about on there. He just showed me how to do a few things on there. This was Cubase, black and white Cubase times. And eventually, messing about turned into making songs. Fruity Loops came out, changed my life.
Fruity Loops, yes.
Fruity Loops 1.
So that was the first program you really got to grips with and started crafting your sound.
Yeah. In terms of crafting my own sound and really exploring, Fruity Loops gave me that.
So what was you making? What sort of tunes was you making on Fruity Loops?
At first, there's a lot of hip hop, garage. I say a lot, but I wasn't making that much tunes. It's mostly hip hop, to be fair.
Okay.
It's mostly hip hop. Yeah. When I first started, what I used to do, the producers that I kind of looked up to, I'll try and rebuild their tunes. So I'll be trying to rebuild Timbaland tunes and Dre tunes, Neptunes, all of this kind of.
So initially, you was looking up to the hip hop guys and you was trying to emulate their sort of sound.
Yeah, I suppose my first love was Dr. Dre and Timbaland. Then it became Wookie and Sticky. And by them times, this is where I'm doing garage now and trying to do tunes like them.
So at the same time, are you DJing garage as well?
Yes, but house parties. I used to love it. House parties. I did a couple of clubs, but that was usually because someone hired that Eros or something, and it was a birthday or townhouse.
So you wasn't on pirate radio or anything like that? In the early days?
In the early days, no.
So it's like...
Not when I was in school.
Okay, cool. So you start making garage now?
Yeah.
Yep.
What
sort of style of garage was you making? Was it more the softer stuff or?
No, I never did. Remember, I suppose because of my age, I never came into making garage until the tail end of garage. So it was already getting darker. And I suppose that's what kind of made me like it. I liked the darker stuff. Before then, I was listening to jungle and rap, US rap, and dancehall. That was it.
So you said the tail end of garage. What sort of tunes can you remember that really caught your eye?
Go DJ, Hungry Tiger, Dilemma, these kind of things. Obviously, I won't mention Sticky and Wookie's tunes because I've already said that's what I was listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was the darker garage then?
Definitely. That's all I liked. I wasn't really into the fluffy stuff.
So you started listening to the darker garage. When, in terms of your sound, when did your sound really come together and then you can start thinking about maybe giving tunes to different DJs or even putting tunes out yourself? When did it really progress into that?
Yeah, so that's a good question in terms of when. But for a while, it must have been around 2000. This is when I'm making songs now where I'm thinking, right, like, I was handing tunes out to DJs in the 2000s, but they were not many DJs because I didn't know many DJs. So you got like P-Jam. Before I knew P-Jam was playing my tunes. There was a DJ, Chubby, R.I.P. DJ Chubby. He was the first person that I knew that actually bought one of my records, DJ Chubby. So he was supporting me from young, P-Jam. When I got to college, so 2001, I met a DJ who was doing his thing, and then he had a crew called Slingshot. His name's Slick D. He's important. I'll explain why he's so important to my career later down. But he had a crew called Slingshot, so he became an outlet for me because he was on Heat FM. He was doing his circuits because he was active. He was going, wherever, Raw Blaze, wherever, anywhere he could play, he was gonna play. So he done Mystic, Deja. He was
on a circuit, yeah.
Yeah. So I would just feed him. I'll make tunes that same day, send it to him, and he'll play it on radio the same night.
So he was basically the main DJ you were sending all your tunes to.
100%, yeah. I even forward with him. Lethal had down his set. So the Morfire were coming to be guests on Slingshot's set. So he's hollered at me, he said, yo, Dex, come down, Morfire's coming down. So I've come, and then he's doing the set, and a lot of the tunes he's playing, Biz will keep stopping, and he's like, who made this? And they keep pointing to the in the corner. And so in the end, Lethal come and took my number, and that's how that thing happened.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. More. But that's not even all what Slick done. When I say he's important to my career, that was just one tune. I'll give you another example. Lethal Bizzle Mister. That was a hip hop tune that I made. Slick heard it, and he took it to radio, and he sped it up to 140 and played it in a set with MCs, and it sounded crazy. So I said, wow, can we go studio, speed it up and record it, and that's going to be the tune. I sent that to Bizzle, and that was Mister.
Right.
One more.
Go on.
Victory. Slingshot had a clash with another crew. I think it was Bundem crew, I think.
Bundem, yeah.
Yeah. And so Slick hollered at me. He's like, yo, I need a war rhythm. It has to be a war rhythm.
Yeah.
Like, it's a proper clash. It's a big clash for us. So I made Victory. I only made it as a dub. There was no intention to do anything with Victory after that. It was just for Slingshot to do dub plates. And it just kind of, it worked. And he kept playing it. And it just kind of became popular in that circuit there in North London over time.
So he's like crucial to your career.
Yeah. Even might be. Gemma Fox might be.
Yep.
One day he hollered at me, he said, Dex, I need some happy songs. All this dark. Give me something that's vibey. I need something vibey. And then I made the Might Be tune.
Well, thanks to him, basically.
Yeah.
So in terms of releasing music, putting it out in the shops and the stores and stuff, how did that come about?
So my very first release, my dad pressed up like 200 of it. This was a record called Dirty Pot / Red Brick Road. So he's brought, I remember going with him to Rhythm Division. This time, what was that? I must have been like 16, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, we've gone Rhythm Division, and he's not just rhythm, but that was I remember.
You remember, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that was the first release. That's how it was funded.
So how did it come around that your dad put it out for you?
Because my dad's he's a music man as well, isn't it? So he's been pressing records and stuff already in his own thing. So he's heard the tunes. He said, "Right, like these are. Let me show you how it runs, how the game goes. So he wanted to show me the process. That's the reason why he did it. He wanted to show me the process. This is how you release a record. And so he did it once for me to see. And
so how many did you press?
200.
And so surely didn't put all of them in rhythm.
No,
of course not. So
I think UDM. I can't remember. I only remember Rhythm Division because I don't know. It's just that one stood out to me.
And how did that release do?
I don't even know if we sold the 200. It sold some.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it sold. We didn't sell everything, but we sold some records, and I got some money in the pocket. He gave me some money, so he earned something.
And what? So that was at a garage release, am I fair to say?
I called everything garage at the time, but if you go and listen to them now, they're definitely grime records. One of them in particular, it sounds like Dilemma. So to me, this was all just dark garage or grimy garage. Again, in 2023, when you look back, it's grime, but you're talking to someone who still called it all garage 2 years after people was calling it grime.
So you're saying that was 2000, 2001?
Yeah, that was 2001.
And you're saying, looking back now, that was a grime tune?
Looking back now, that was a grime tune. That was just a dark grime, as we called it, grimy garage.
So around that time, 2000, 2001, did you notice the sound getting darker? Obviously, it wasn't called grime then, but did you notice that there's this new music coming around? Did you notice it, or did you think it was still garage, or did you notice the shift, which I'm trying to get to?
Yeah, because the darker it got is the more excited me and the people around me got about it. So, it got to a point where we want the dirtiest tunes, so when we got linking up at each other's house and doing those little sets in the bedroom and that, it was, we kind of used to clash each other. So we'd bring our records, any new ones you bought that week, blah, blah, blah. So, it was the darker the better. That's what it was for us. The darker the better. So we noticed it was getting darker. That's kind of what got me into garage in the first place. It was when it got dark. That's when it was like, rah, I like this.
Okay, so garage starts getting darker. When it starts coming away from garage, where you can kind of say, this isn't dark garage anymore. This is something totally different.
Yep.
What sort of tunes were you hearing that you thought, you know what, this ain't garage no more?
See, I tell you why this is interesting, right? Because there was tunes while garage was kind of still in swing that did that, like Musical Mob, Pulse X. That happened pretty much when people were still releasing normal garage tunes. But that tune, I heard that, and that blew my mind. I was like, rah, this is the most emptiest song I've ever heard, but why does it slap? Why does it slap so hard? And it's just got a pulsing bass and a couple of claps. And that tune, that's a tune that I would just have on repeat for ages, just listening, just dissecting it and just thinking, rah, what is this? That was one of those tunes that was like, right, it blew my mind. And one thing about me as a producer, I've always I love hearing stuff that I don't understand how the producer done it. I love that.
And that was one of those tunes?
That was one of those, yeah. I was there and I was like, rah, this is crazy. It's crazy. He used so few things and still made it so big. Yeah, so. But that happened when garage was still like that. No one was calling that grime. We were calling that garage because at the time, but that was a grime record, through and through. But so it's kind of an interesting question to ask, because that goes, what I will not lose again, and that was deep into the garage.
So what I'm trying to get from you is like, what few tunes were responsible for the sound of grime?
What few tunes?
So you're saying Pulse X, you're saying I Will Not Lose. As a producer and someone who was making tunes, I kind of want to get your ideas behind.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying there's 2 or 3 tunes that are responsible for the whole thing. What it is, I mentioned those are the first that came into my head. But there was actually so many, because you have to remember, a lot of there was a lot of producers in London. So in my eyes, the whole transition from garage to grime wasn't a switch going off. It was an evolution over like 2 years. So all these producers around London are slowly getting darker and darker, and they're doing like, you know, you had Johnny Cash doing it was so dark. Johnny Cash's stuff was so dark. If you look back at that now, there's no way you're gonna say that's garage.
No way.
No way. And then you got like you know, your Heinzie D, dum,
Capsule,
dum, these kind of tunes. You know, you had Wiley had a bag of tunes that just didn't fit the garage aesthetic, if you like. I could go on. There's so many producers. I mean, we often hear about the ones that made it really big, like Jammer and Wiley, but there were so many producers. And you know who's good to ask? Those DJs, because DJs didn't care who made the rhythm. They just wanted the dirtiest rhythms. So if you talk to a lot of DJs, they'll be able to tell you, you know, these tunes were being made by, there was a lot of them. There was a lot of tunes. That's how it became a scene. If there was only one or two man making these kind of dark songs, it wouldn't have been a scene. It would have been a style, somebody's style.
When you say a scene, a lot of people say the grime scene was created in East London.
You know what I'll say to that? I would say a grime scene was created in London, in East London. Yeah. And arguably the best one. When I say the best one, I mean the infrastructure was brilliant. It had bloggers. It was well documented. You know, people were taking footage. Good raves, radio stations like Mystic and etc. Great talent across the board, as in MCs, DJs, producers. So I think East London had the most important scene, if you like. But to say that that's the only scene writes off everything that was going on in South London. It writes off everything that was going on in everywhere else. Everyone that was on Heat FM in North London, it writes that off too. It's like, so I think, you know, if you're going to talk about this stuff without any cognitive bias or just honestly, you've kind of got to look at the whole picture. And the whole picture, the whole evolution of garage to grime was bigger than one community.
It was bigger than East London, you're saying then?
Yeah. I think it was a London thing. I think there was a few different communities doing their thing. But as I said, I think that East London definitely had the best scene. They had the best infrastructure. I won't go through it all again, but you know, I think they had the best scene, man. Definitely, hands down.
So, for you, your tunes are getting played on radio now.
Yep.
By your friend.
Yep.
Remind us of his
Slick
name.
D.
Slick D was playing all your tunes.
Yep.
How did you start getting in contact with the MCs then?
So I worked with who was around me. Yeah, so I worked with the people that were around me. What I forgot to say as well, Slick used to play with a crew called G-Fam as well.
Yeah. Dimples and that.
And that, yeah. So he used to DJ for them too, also with their DJ, because their DJ was his friend from young.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I used to work with the MCs that were available to me. I didn't really, that was everything to me, because I just wanted to hear people on my tunes. So I used to work with people from my school, people from wherever.
So not necessarily big MCs?
Nah. They weren't in reach. And I just got on with it at the time. Are you asking when I did start working with MCs?
Yeah, like, obviously, because another question I wanted to ask you, back then as being a producer, do you feel like you could have broke through in a scene just having the instrumentals and MCs not going over them? Was that possible? To have a big tune, obviously one of your biggest tunes, which we're going to get into, is Power.
when you say MCs going over them, do you mean recordings?
Like vocaling them.
I think you could because there was a lot of big songs in the scene anyway, that, you know, people would use on sets, but there's not necessarily a vocal to those records. So I think you could do that. That wasn't my story, but I'm sure we know there's big producers that you didn't really hear no one on their scene, on their tunes, but their tunes were in every dance.
So your story wasn't like that though, was it?
No.
So tell us your story.
I didn't really get to the big MCs until I did like, I'm sure I did some stuff with G-Fam MCs like Random Impulse and Dimples. So it wasn't really until Power hit. No, do you know Venom Crew? Venom Crew was the first crew that I did songs with, I would say, from my memory. But not till Forward Rhythm. That's when I didn't even need to holler at anyone. The MCs were hollering at me. And this was like, I love it, I'll take it.
Okay, let's get into the history of the Forward Rhythm Power. Tell us the whole story behind it.
Well, I've told you how Bizzle heard the record and stuff. He's heard the tune. He's called me. He wanted Might Be, you know. Not Forward Rhythm. Yeah, he wanted that Gemma Fox Might Be. But Jason K, R.I.P., he was going to put Might Be out. So I just explained to him, nah, you can have, is there anything else you like? So he picked Forward Rhythm. He had the idea of putting 10 people on one track. So you have to think, to me, these times I was 17, 18. Lethal B. Remember these times, let me just keep it 100, yeah? More Fire to me, as a 17-year-old, was like, these are guys that these are stars. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He just had Oi, like, not too long ago. These are the big guys in the scene. This is where we're trying to get to. So it's like, rah, any interaction with these kind of the big MCs was great stuff, man. So he said, yeah, I want to put 10 MCs. And he's naming off some of the MCs. I'm like, and he's asking me if I want to do it. Of course I want to do it.
Did you think, when hearing all these names, you think, he's chatting crap. This ain't going to happen.
I didn't, because I know he's a big MC. So why would he not be able to get his mates? That's what I was thinking. I thought, I didn't even question it. I just thought, he's going to put all these people on that tune that's going to be mad. So he's done it now. And he's played it to me. And I remember playing it to my friends. I was like, this is mad. There's like 10 mad MCs on my song. So, so the Power thing happened. And then after that, my phone didn't stop ringing, man. And so I got a lot of tunes off the back of that. That kind of launched my thing into like...
So hold on, so he calls you basically saying, look, I'm gonna get 10 MCs on it.
Yep.
Was you there for the process or anything like that? Or you literally just give the tune over, you're sitting back, and then you get the call, or you get you get the CD, here's the tune.
Yeah.
Was that the process, or was you heavily involved?
I wasn't involved. Lethal put that tune together. And you know what? There was a, what do you call it? I think there was a misunderstanding amongst their audience, if you like. What happened is Lethal B put that tune together. So he got the beat from me, he arranged studio, and he got the MCs together. He executively produced that record. Now, when he's gone on I don't know, whatever shows or interviews, and he said when I produced it, some people may have been thinking, he's saying that he produced the record as in done the beats. These times I weren't even a producer, I was a beat maker, I was billing rhythm. So he's not wrong to say that he produced the record. He did. He executively produced the record. So I know there was some kind of, what's the word? There were questions and opinions from just the fans of the game, innit? Fans and...
So did you maybe feel a bit left out at the time, that maybe no one knows you've made the beat for this? Lethal's getting all the credit.
I didn't.
Surely.
I didn't. People around me did. So my friends did. Because you know what it is? I've always, and this is still up to this day, cared about the music and not the fame. So I never wanted to be... Okay, what are you asking? That I didn't get credit for... That some people thought... Yeah, I've had... Okay, no.
Some people might have thought...
I get what you're saying.
Lethal made the beat.
Yes.
No.
Some people did think that. I had debates with people. They're telling me, no, you didn't build that. Lethal B built that. And I'm like, no, I built that rhythm. So yeah, in that case, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It was weird. It was weird that people were saying that I didn't produce a tune. Lethal B produced a tune. It was weird. So why am I having debates about a rhythm that I made and I'm saying boom, boom, boom. But I know where it came from. It's because he has a right to say he produced a tune because he did. He executively produced it. So I get it.
But did you want a bit more credit?
Yeah.
Maybe your name to be on it a little bit more, maybe. I don't know what way it could have been.
My name. I wanted my name to be in the mix more with Power. What I was initially explaining, I never wanted my face to be. I didn't want that kind of...
You didn't want to be in a video or anything like that.
That was never me. But yeah, the name, because you got to have your name out there, even if you don't want your face out there. Do you know what I mean?
And do you feel like you got your name out there from Power? Obviously, you've produced the biggest tune.
I definitely got my name out there from Power. Definitely, 100%. Because enough people knew that I made the tune.
The most important people knew you made the tune. Maybe. Not the fans, but the people within the scene, the MCs, maybe
but
A&Rs.
You'd be surprised. There are some savvy fans that really do pay attention and look into things and look things up, and they want to know who produced this, but they all knew. They'll know because my name's on the credits. And that was the thing to me. My name was on the credits of the song. So it was like, there was never, when I say I'm having debates with people, it's not animosity. It's kind of funny to me that you don't think that I made this tune.
Because your name's not out there. It's on the small print on the label or...
Yes,
but like now maybe, I don't know, on Grime Daily it'll be Chipmunk called this, and in brackets produced by...
Yeah.
Dex. Do you know what I mean? But back then it wasn't really like that, was it?
Nah. Well, it kind of was. Just that song wasn't. But I mean, off the back of that song, loads of MCs hit me up. So they knew that I made the tune.
Let's so Power, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you feel like when this is out, the video's out, didn't you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm a top boy now. I'm in the scene now. Tell the truth. You must have felt that. Things must have changed for you.
Not quite as you say it. I didn't feel like...
You just played Power, the biggest tune.
Yeah, I felt like I had...
charted, right?
Yeah, it did. I felt like I had the biggest record on road.
On road?
Yeah, like the biggest record on road. I didn't feel like I was the big guy. Like I'm the big producer.
You didn't? After making Power?
Remember, Power was the first record that come out. You don't just...
It was the first one, but come on. It's not like you just put out a tune and this is going... Power's getting banned in the clubs. What sort of damage was it causing in the clubs?
Yeah, it was. I tell you what though. I think I was around a lot of people that are older than me. Yeah, big up Martin, Jason K. Then
of course, social circles.
The people that's around them, yeah. So I was around older people and they kept me grounded.
Oh, so, really?
Yeah, I wasn't around the kind of all my peers, if you like. I wasn't around a lot of the people my age.
So how did the social circles guys feel about the Power? Because obviously it didn't get released on their label.
Social circles at this point doesn't exist no more.
Right.
Yeah. That's when Power happened. But at that time, Jason set up a studio in Scream Records in Southgate. And that's where I'm based now. So that happened during that spot, which was good because when that happened, now the heat is on me. I've got a studio. So I can churn out rhythm and vocal, tell everyone, come. So this is why I had such a mad run from like, for a few years. Yeah, it was because I had a studio ready to go. I had a team around me. It was all good.
So as soon as power drops, the heat's actively going, continuing. What's the next move for you then? What was the next sort of tunes you started doing? Or
well, remember these times I'm over with Jason K. So then he's saying, "Rah, now you got all this heat. Let's release." So he's done another tune, a Social Circles record called The Shadows EP. So that was my next vinyl release. I think.
The Shadows
was
EP,
my next
yeah?
one. But yeah, these times I'm setting up me and Martin, he's my manager, but really he was like a big brother.
Who is Martin?
Martin, who is he? He was my manager.
Okay.
But he was just one of the man them kind of thing, but he's older than me.
Okay.
So he kind of kept me focused and whatnot. But so he showed me as well. He helped me set up DXP Recordings. He took me to the art place to get artwork done. He took me to the pressing plant. So he wasn't trying to do it and not show me. He was teaching me how to become self-sufficient. So he take me to, music house to get the records pressed up and whatnot. So DSP Recordings got set up after that. That was my next kind of big move for me.
So what was your next big vocals after Power then? If you can remember. Or what sort of MCs was you working with?
So after Power we had Carla Roll With Us.
Yep.
Remix.
But again, that was kind of similar to Power, where a lot of MCs... Was that the theme now?
Yeah, I had a few of them.
You did?
Pull up that
again,
remix.
The remix, yeah.
There's a few more, it's just whether I can remember them. But yeah, it became a thing, as in I became the go-to person for
the rally tunes.
Yes. And you know what? Bizzle done a few of them. He didn't just do Power. He did No, he did Forward 2, he did another Forward 2. Because remember there was the Fire Camp one, that was the second one.
And then he had No, it was the backwards rhythm, innit?
The backwards rhythm?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he done another Forward 2 that didn't get released. And that one had...
Oh, that had Ryder and all that on it. I remember that one. And that had...
Jamie...
Flirt was on that, was he?
Flirt was on that.
Yeah. That one, yes.
Yeah. So I think Getz was on there as well. There's a few people on there.
Did you feel like there was a pressure for you to keep with that particular style, that sort of forward style?
Do you know what it was?
That tune's got big. There's a demand. Obviously, we know your sound wider than that. But did you feel restricted to making that sort of 8-bar hype, 8-bar switch up? Did you feel restricted to only making that sort of sound in that period of time?
To an extent, but I didn't feel like it was a restriction. I felt like I was doubling down on the heat. So remember, the producers that I was looking at growing up were producers that had sounds, or they had a sound for a season. So if it picked up, they'll rinse it and then move on to the next one. Timbaland, Dre, Neptunes.
So that's what you was doing?
That's what I was doing. When Power happened, it worked. Double down. And then one time, I rinsed it, yeah. These times I've done a couple albums with Bizzle. We've had a mad run with Bizzle. And Bizzle told me, he's kept it 100 with me. He said, bro, you need to change your sound now. He said, you need to change it up now. And yeah, even Frisco said it to me all years later. He said, you know what, bro? He goes, you was mad, what's the word? You was mad creative, and then Power happened, and then everything sounded like Power. So that was me doubling down for as long as I could, kind of just getting the most out of it, you know?
Do you think you got the most out of it?
Yeah.
Do you think you went a bit too overboard? Do you think you went a bit too far?
Do you know why it seems like I went overboard? Because everyone else, lots of other people was making my sound as well. So half the things people think I made, then they think, right, you just done Power bare times. It wasn't. It was other people doing remixes.
There's a lot of bootlegs. There's a big, like Mr. Snowman bootleg. That was quite big.
Yeah.
Mr. Snowman one,
Yeah. And not just direct power,
but that references. Sort of
my sound in general, because you had like Blazer Rhythm. Don't know if you know that, if you remember that one. Yeah.
Would you say that sounds like power though?
To me, it's all the same sound.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
To me, it's all the same ingredients. Hench, Change Formation, these kind of tunes, they're all...
Was that your best run, though, honestly? That sort of Change Formation, Hench, Blazer, Power, that era, would you say that was your best run?
No. That was my run. That was my Grime run.
That was your prime run, innit? You're never going to get that again.
It could, because it's music, innit? You just never know. All it takes
no, but see, your first run, I always say, your first one, you'll never get that exactly like that again.
I did get it again, though, but in a different scene. I did in bassline as well.
No, but I was, yeah. But I'm talking
just
about
Grime.
Okay, we'll get into bassline in a minute. Yeah.
That was my prime run, 100%. That was when it was like, like before that, Wiley, I say he had the first run in Grime, so he was banging out rhythm, not missing. I felt like after that was my turn, and I got to bang out rhythm, and everyone was on it, and it was live, and that was my run.
Would you say at that time he was the biggest producer in Grime?
No. How can I be the biggest producer in Grime?
In that moment, if it was a year, or honestly, the most prolific then?
I tell you why I can't be. Because I didn't put myself out there enough to be a big producer. So the guys that wanted that and wanted the fame and wanted the kind of, they wanted to be glorified, if you like, they would have been the biggest producers, which they were. There was many producers that were bigger than me. I'm
talking musically, not like marketing and you're not on your front cover of Rerun magazine. I'm talking to pure music terms, where every DJ's got your record in their box. Every big artist is coming to you.
Yeah, at some point. During my run, I was probably the biggest producer.
You was the biggest producer.
During my run. Yeah. That's why I had a run. That's why it was the run. Just like when I go to the States again, because it was similar times. That's why I keep using Little John. Little John, he was the biggest producer at the time with crunk music.
Okay, so
it was his run.
When the run starts calming down, and dies down, and now there's a new young producer, maybe a Low Deep or Virgo or whoever, around that time. How does that make you feel when you're not the guy in demand anymore? Maybe Lethal, and they're not ringing you as much anymore. They found someone else now. How is that as a producer, and how do you stay grounded and keep going? This is important for producers coming through today.
Yeah, do you know what? I keep going because for me, it's always been the music first.
Didn't it hurt your ego though?
No, because it didn't. This is the thing. And I realized this much later in life, that I had a lot of control over my ego. I controlled my ego. I wasn't led by my ego. So a lot of things, like when I won my first award, right? I think it was UMA. No, it was the UMA award.
What was that produced? What was the award for?
Best Underground Producer 05.
2005, yeah?
Yeah. So I remember I've collected my award now. I'm on the way home. We're in a cab or something. Me and my brethren, Dan Martin. And I remember my brethren T saying to me, bruv, what's wrong with you? I said, what do you mean? He's like, what's wrong with you? You just won an award, bruv. And he's to him, it's like, why am I not gassed that I just won an award? This was nice to win an award. For me, music over everything is all about the music. It was all about the music. So as long as I'm billing rhythm, I'm happy. Literally. When that happened, remember I just like billing rhythm. When my hype, if you like, it wasn't just my hype, it was also the grime scene started to, the grime goes in waves, innit? So it started to kind of recede in popularity a bit. And as it does, it always does, it goes up and down. And during this time, bassline happened. And so I did a lot of bassline music and had a run in bassline, but I never stopped making grime. And this is important to say because in 07, there was '07, the bassline thing was ringing off, yeah. And I remember seeing in the forums people saying, "Rah, Dex is just making bare bassline now, blah blah." And I was like, hold on. There's still grime from me coming out in '07.
But the fans are thinking, you've been the biggest grime producer in grime. You've probably made a bit of money from it now. Now grime's on a decline, you're cutting out and going to bassline. It looks like you're a bit of a glory hunter to the fans. To the fans, we know music's music.
Yeah.
But you know the grime purists, like you can't make anything else.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Graham's taking a dip. You've rinsed your power sound out.
Yeah.
You've rinsed it.
Rinsed it.
He can't.
Rinsed it.
Now
like,
you've just gone to baseline.
Yeah.
And you're doing the same thing there.
Yeah.
That's how they could see it.
I'm sure that's how they did see it.
That's how the people on the forums anyway could see it.
I'm sure that's how they did see it. But I suppose from the very beginning, I kind of made it clear that I just like music and I just feel what I love.
It's true because obviously it's garage, grime, baseline.
Yeah. And before that I was doing hip hop.
Yeah.
So it kind of is what it is. I build what I like, always have built what I like. I thought I made that clear from the beginning. I love grime, that's why I make grime. I stumbled into bassline. It wasn't even a thing that was supposed to happen.
Was your run more prolific in bassline than grime?
They were both prolific for two different things. Bassline is what got me the world tours and DJing all over, from Australian tours, Hong Kong, New York, all that. That came from bassline. Grime had a different set of things that was, I think with grime as well, I think grime was more, I resonated with the culture of grime more. Grime's just a different vibe. It's a different vibe.
You love it more than bass. Was bassline
I love
just
grime more than any other.
Was bassline just
music.
like a job? Like you're just making this music because it's in demand. Obviously, I'm not saying you didn't like the music, but
that's what I was gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say I love bassline. I still do love bassline to this day. Even bassline, I got a bit disheartened with bassline.
Why?
I suppose the sound changed and I didn't like how it changed. It got a bit too
noisy
squelchy.
And
yeah. But there's guys in bassline that are making me happy again.
Okay.
So yeah, go.
So in terms of your label, DXP Recordings, what tunes came out on that?
Mostly instrumentals.
Yeah.
Victory, Hench, Blazer, a tune with Nana, Fuming and Baby Blue called One Night Stand. Another tune with Nana and Skibbity called Adrenaline. Pull Up, that remix came out.
Oh, that came out on it, yeah?
Yeah.
How did that come around as well?
If I remember correctly, I'm sure Monday just hit me up and said, yo, can you do a remix of this tune? So I did the remix and then we just worked it out that, you know, if there's a budget for the remix, I'll do the remix and take it, it's yours. If there's no budget, we can work it out by me putting the song out on my label, and you know, you'll still get it's still a remix of your tune, it's still helping the original. So that's how that one worked.
So in terms of you've had a long career, you're still going. How did you stay current? Because again, from about 2012, 13, you come back with this whole new sound like Gotham and tunes before that, and there's that tune that come out on you sent me a batch of tunes, it was getting battered. You know, when you made Beat Camp again, there was a tune that come out on there. I can't even remember the name of the tune now, but do you know what I was talking about?
Did it was it out? Did it come out on hard drive? Oh, okay, so yes, 2013.
Yeah.
Around those times.
Yeah.
I was doing a bass, what did I call it?
Yeah, because you was on Empire FM a lot. You come back on a circuit, you was mixed on the Empire FM.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I released a series of EPs called the Bass Life series.
Yeah, he was just calling the music bass, wasn't it? It wasn't even grime, it was just bass.
It was grime, but the series was called That Bass Life. Yeah, because focusing on heavy bass.
It's like you kind of came back to life.
Do you know what it is as well? Before that, I was still making songs and stuff, but I was DJing a lot. So all the tunes I'm making were like heavy bass songs. And what was happening, all these countries I'm going to, they love bass music. So I was able to play some of these tunes, some of these countries, they'll book me to play bassline. But remember, this is the first time that they're hearing bassline. So they don't
know what bassline is, so you can play whatever you want, really.
There you go. So I was playing grime in them, I was playing lots of things. What's happening as well?
Yeah, go on. So we're talking about you going to different countries, playing bassline, and I'm talking about your revamp, basically 2013.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That was just basically, I was just launching loads of EPs, loads of Bass Life series. I think I put out about 5 EPs that year. And yeah.
So what's the lowest moment in your career been?
The lowest moment in my whole career has definitely been when my friend passed away, Black the Ripper, without a doubt. Definitely.
Tell us about your relationship
with Black.
Blacks, yeah.
So the Black, I hooked up with Black in what? 07, I think.
What's your mic?
Yeah, I hooked up with Black in about 07. So we started working on a mixtape. This fruit again, it was my manager at the time, Martin. He was saying, "Yo, there's a kid that he knows called Black the Ripper, and he's hard. He's saying he's the hardest, and he talks the stuff that he's talking about. He talks with substance, like he's not an idiot." So, funny enough, I bumped into Black the Ripper. So Martin's already spoke to him, and he spoke to me, and then we just bumped into each other one time, and we kind of just hit it off from there. And when we started going studio and stuff, we just kind of realized we've got a lot in common. So we was like, it's pretty much hanging with Black almost every day for a couple of years. So
really?
we were navigating through the scene together, if you like, for a few years. And we did a few videos, Westwood Show and whatnot. Man. Black was my people's, man. Black was my people still.
What was the best moment in your career? Do you feel that?
The best moment of my career.
The highlight. One.
Like, I don't think there's the one highlight above the others, but I could mention, winning awards is nice, but my best moments are probably studio moments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my best moments are just being in studio making records that really give me life. Yeah, like that's I can't stress enough. For me, it is more about I think that's one of the reasons why I've survived in the game for so long, because it's before the money, before fame, before any of that, it's the music. So if you just care about the music first, there's no reason to stop doing this. You ain't got an excuse to stop doing this. You don't need an excuse. You just don't stop because you like it. If I don't make rhythms for a long time, I start to get sad.
Really?
It affects me that much. So I have to have rhythms. And whatever tune I made last is my favorite song, and I'll rinse that and batter that like all the time. So I guess I've got a very close connection with the actual music itself, and that's why I'm still here. That's why I've been here 20 years.
One more other thing actually I wanted to talk about was the link-up tune you done.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Because we was talking about you rinsed the whole power sound.
Yeah, so
fast forward.
Yep.
What made you do that link-up tune and that sort of that same sound again?
So, years later, I hadn't been doing that sound for a long time, as you know. Years later, one day, I just made that tune. I just made the dub, the instrumental. I just made that randomly.
The run-out tune, innit?
Yeah, run out rhythm. I just felt,
run out rhythm, yeah.
You know what? I just built that. I just had the urge to do it and done it. It sat there for time, probably 2 years. Then Chip wanted a tune for run out rhythm. He done that.
So he hit you up?
Yeah. Chip hit me up. I sent him a bag of tunes. The one I wanted him to choose, he didn't choose. Always the way. He chose Run Out Rhythm. I understand why. It's just the nostalgic thing, innit? So he's done that. He's done Run Out Rhythm. So that's the one he chose. He made that instrumental big, but that was a clash rhythm. So I thought, you know what? Let's make a normal song on it. So, you know, the tune
capitalize on it, innit?
Yeah. So that's how that come about. That's it.
And another question as well. Powell there was a 2011 version, wasn't there?
Yes.
How did you feel when you didn't you wasn't involved in that? But it's still your sound.
I felt a bit disappointed.
But it's still your sound. It's not like it's a whole new tune.
Well, that was a lot of the disappointment came from that someone just, you know, Teddy's my brother. Teddy, I love Teddy. But, you know, just the whole fact that the tune got rebuilt. And I found out on Twitter as well. So it was like, that's mad. That's my biggest tune to date at that point. This still is. Maybe. I don't know. Bullet Cake might be bigger. Depends who you ask.
Depends who you are. Yeah. Depends what. Yeah.
So it was like, you know, yeah, so it was like, yeah, I just thought I was just a bit disappointed at it. I just thought, right, man.
Was there no dialogue or anything or between you and Lethal or... It seemed a bit strange that they haven't really changed the tune that much.
There wasn't dialogue. Not during the song making and all that. There was nothing.
So you just found out on Twitter a new Powell's coming out.
Yeah. But I get again. Remember, I don't lead with my ego. So I remember, I understand Bizzle, he wanted to go with whoever was the hottest guy at that time.
I was just about to say
and
that
Teddy had just smashed 2010 to bits. So it was the obvious,
made
go
sense.
with the person who's running the roads right now. And it was Teddy. So I get it.
Yeah.
It's just, if I could have gone back and changed one thing, I would have said, make Teddy build his own thing. Because Teddy was
it would have been the same. It would have been the same.
It would have been better. I'm telling you, if Teddy had done his own style on that rhythm there, it would have breathed fresh breath into the Powell thing.
Yeah.
It would have. That's my opinion. Because remember, Teddy got picked because he was killing it. So his style is popular already. I think if you'd have put his style on that, it would have worked nice. Is
that your biggest regret in music then?
That can't be my regret.
Okay, what's your biggest regret?
Huh?
What's your biggest regret?
What's my biggest regret? I must have a regret somewhere. I know what my regret is. My regret is probably... Nah, that's not my biggest regret. That's just a regret. I don't have a big regret. Like some deep
There's
thing.
Not something you've done. I was like, oh, why did I do that? Or if I would have gave this tune to this person, and there's nothing like that.
I'm sure there is if I think long enough.
The
only one I can think of is listening when I was doing the bassline stuff and listening to the criticisms. Rah, man's just doing bare bassline and no grime. When I was releasing, like I swear Bizzle put out Mister and a few things that, so I knew I had kind of things coming out in grime. So I knew in my head I've got them both covered, but there was an imbalance at the time.
Yeah.
So I was active in the bassline scene at the time. So, you know, if you're a grime fan at that time, you see how active I am in bassline. And you're thinking, right, he's put out a couple tunes this year. He's maybe not taking it as serious as I want him to take it. I get it. My regret was kind of taking that on, because I took it on. Like,
yeah, it affect you a bit.
Yeah, I stopped wanting to do bassline so much. And I started kind of, you know, trying to change the balance a bit. And that's me listening to external forces. Yeah. So it go.
Dex, so what's next for you, bro?
What's next? So next I got an EP with Big Nasty, Shuri Baku EP, pretty much based, martial arts based. You know, Big Nasty's had a martial arts journey over the last few years, and Yeah, I'm proud of that. Proud of that. It's a new sound. It's a new kind of. It's not just a new grime sound for me. It's a new sound in grime. Do you know what I mean? That is created by me, if you like. So I did a tune called Gorilla Glue, and I threw it up on Twitter in the start of 2019. But this tune was me saying to myself, I'm just doing the music that I like. I'm not trying to. I specifically made that tune thinking, I don't care what anyone likes. I'm just doing what I resonate with. Did that, and I threw a little clip on Twitter, and it blew up.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking, rah, okay. Big Nasty hit me up. He said, bro, make 6 more, and we do an EP. So I did the 6. Well, we worked on it for a while, and that got done. And so also I've got another project that I won't talk too much about it, but I feel like this other project coming is going to be, this is me putting it out myself. This is me producing it, and I don't want to say too much about it. It kind of rears the
maybe don't. Obviously, it's coming out, innit? We don't want to.
Yeah.
We don't
so
want
to. I've got a big project coming out soon. Like, my biggest project of my whole career is coming out soon, and it's a grime project.
Big news that then, innit? We'd have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. I think, do you know what it is? Because of the nature of it.
That's a big statement. Your biggest release of your career.
It's fact. This project is my biggest project, definitely. But when it comes, hopefully, if it's done right, you should hear about it. Just because of the nature of it, you should hear about it. Yeah.
Without having to look for it, I'll just hear about it.
Yeah, it should get to you. It should reach you.
Dex, it's been a pleasure, man.
Blessings, man.
Grime History Lesson out.